Hi everyone, my name is Phil and I'd like to welcome all of you to our first ever video training. If by chance you are listening to this file right now, there's a big possibility that you receive this via email as part of our proposal for you to join in our group and change your career, change the manner how your finances work, and overall contribute to your success as an individual. So we decided to use audio files instead of the video stream for one very important reason, and that's because most of our franchisors and most of our customers, most of our potential business owners are taking advantage of the free internet service provided by Smart, Sun Cellular, and Globe. And since video consume more bandwidth, we decided to create a much lighter version in the form of an audio file. So just in case by any means you miss some parts of our training, we will also upload the script for your review online. And from time to time, you might hear occasional noises coming from our pets inside our office. We got a dog. We also got a parrot, so you might hear animal sounds right there, but don't worry, all of them are in good behavior. So probably I won't waste your time much. I'll go ahead and begin our training. This is exactly one of our sessions that we will have moving forward. In fact, this first training is more of an orientation and more of an explanation on the proposal that we sent to you via email. If you haven't received that, you can contact us again, and we will be glad to send to you the proposal. But there's a big possibility, and probably one of the major reasons why you are hooked up and listening to this file right now, because you have figured out, you have discovered that there is something wrong in your life. You probably discovered that there's something wrong in your life. If you're a call center agent who has been working very hard day and night in your life, and nothing has changed, then there's a big problem. If you're a teacher who spends most of his time in school, yet your income does not go up, there's a big possibility that you are facing a major problem and a major financial crisis in your life. If you're an overseas worker who has been working abroad for years and still, until now, you haven't saved anything for the future of your kids or your wife, then that's a big problem. There's a big chance that until now you're still broke, you don't have the money, and there are only two types of people in this world: the rich and the poor. There's no such thing as a middle class. There's no such thing as in between. So right now, what I want you to do is to decide whether you are rich or poor. If you say you're poor, then that's good, right? It's good because at least now you have discovered that you have few things in life. You discovered that you can hardly buy the things you want. You struggle to help your church. You struggle to help your ministry. You struggle to provide the things needed by your family. And you always run out of money. You struggle to provide the things that your wife wants. And you struggle to provide the things that your parents want. And you struggle to provide the things that your kids demand from you. And that is a sad reality. But I want you to know that there's no one to blame. You don't need to blame your religion. Some people blame their religion because they're poor. You don't have to blame your zodiac sign. It has nothing to do with the zodiac. They're just stars. You don't need to blame your horoscope. It's not true. Horoscope is a hoax. Do not blame the government because the government cannot help you. You need to help yourself. And you don't have to blame others for the misery that you are experiencing. It is not your fault either. So stop blaming yourself why you don't have the money. You see, the reason why a lot of people are poor, especially in the Philippines, the current data from the Department of Labor and Employment suggests that 20% of Filipinos are unemployed. 20%. That means that about 20 million people in the Philippines are living from peso to peso. They don't have stable source of income, and most of them, though they finished college, they get good education from schools and universities, they are underemployed. We've seen a lot of professional nurses being employed in call centers, which is not a bad thing, but they're underemployed based on their qualification. We have seen business administration graduates employed by malls as cashiers. We've seen maritime students employed by hotels as service crew and stuff like that. It ain't fair. You know, this guy studied for years only to land in a job that doesn't even fit their qualification, and that's a very, very sad reality. Now, you might want to ask, so why are these people poor? All right, if it's not their fault, then whose fault it is? You see, the reason why a lot of Filipinos are poor is this: all their life and all your life, you have been surrounded by people who think small. All your life, you have been surrounded by people who thinks that average is good. All your life, you have been surrounded by people who thinks that it's okay to just have enough. They feed you with negative information, and that's the reason why you are stuck in your life. That's the reason why you can't move on. That's the reason why you're broke, because they gave you the wrong information. They feed you with something negative. Alright? They feed you with something that will not make you great. Look, if you're listening to these negative people, nothing will happen in your life. They can be your mom, your wife, your girlfriend, can be your close friend. If these people are negative, if these people are fearful, if they're afraid to try new things and, they're just contented in settling on what they have, you need to stay away from these people. That's my advice. You need to stay away from these people because they will feed you with negative thoughts. They will feed you with the wrong information. And, what would this wrong information do to you? The wrong information that these negative people feed you, alright, will become your life someday. They will tell you that average is okay, so you get average income. They tell you that it's okay to be poor, so you remain poor. They tell you that it's okay to just, live from peso to peso and just getting by, just being contented with what you have. And that's the reason why your life is exactly like that. Because you listen to them, they feed you the wrong information. And you listen to them, you follow what they tell you, and that's the reason why you have this kind of life. They will tell you you won't be rich, and that you won't be successful, and that's the reason why you are stuck with that mindset, and your actions revolve around the negative things and the wrong information they feed you. But here, I have to tell you something. You know what? You can be successful, and you can be rich. If you tap within you, if you tap all your potentials, and you put all your heart and all your hard work into it, you can be really, really successful. I've read a children's storybook a couple of days ago that best explains my point here. Well, it so happened that there was this young bird before who can't fly, and all of the birds surrounding him told him that he can't fly. They discourage the little bird and tell him that you have to quit flying because you can't fly. Your wings are too small; they're not growing, so you're going to end up as a flightless bird. Then after a couple of years of hearing that same message that same negative vibe over and over again, this poor little bird cut his wings because of the belief that really he can't fly. So you see this. You see this. This example happens to a lot of people every day and every year of their life. Their moms tell them that average is okay. Just get average grade, average income. Everything's average. Their teachers in school tell them to just study hard, and after graduation, everything will be okay. These teachers think that success is a straight line, that after you graduate as a summa cum laude, as a magna cum laude, you graduate with honors, with flying colors, with high grades. They think that success will be easy. You'll just go ahead and apply in a hospital, earn average income, and success will come knocking on your door. But that's not the way it is. That's not the way it is. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, girlfriends with other people, boyfriends with other people, they just tell their loved one that, hey, you know what? Everything's okay as long as we have each other. I know a friend who was this very beautiful girlfriend, and he's broke. And one day his girlfriend told him that, it's okay, honey. I'm here. I love you, whatever happens. But about 2 months, the girl separated from him. Why? Because he doesn't have the money. He doesn't have what it takes to be successful. And of course, girls, sometimes, they always look at the guy's capacity to actually give them what they want. And it's one of the reality we have to face today. And what they're telling you, these girls, what they tell you that everything will be okay as long as you have each other, man, that is a very, very big bullshit. Really. Anything average is garbage. Average school is garbage. Average income is garbage. Average dream is garbage. Average effort, average goals, anything average is bad. Education alone and work alone will not make you successful. I've seen, a lot of educated people who are broke until now. They graduated in college 1995. Some of them have been out of school for 10 years. Still, they suffer. They're broke until now. Alright? So if you really want to become successful, alright, here's my tip for you. You have to do something big. If you want to be successful, if you want to get out, alright, if you want to get out from where you are right now, if you want to rise above the noise, if you want to replace scarcity of finances with abundance of money, then you have to do something big. You could not remain average, because average is just a big bullshit. Average people doesn't do well in life. Average dreams doesn't motivate you. Average effort doesn't bring success. And average people will never become successful. Average actions will not take you to the big stage. Remember that. So if you want to become successful, you have to do something big. And you have to do something great. That's what great people do. They do something great. And that's what successful people do. They do something big. If you do small, you'll remain small. You'll remain poor. You will never become successful. And one thing you can do right now to do something big is to be brave enough and start your own business. You have to be brave enough and start your own business. Why? Because self-employment will always lead to success. Self-employment. Employment is not bad. Steve Jobs is an employee. Until the day he died, he was the CEO, the chairman of Apple. He owns a large share of Apple Incorporated, but he's still an employee. Bill Gates is an employee of Apple, but he owns a large share of Microsoft. Warren Buffett, the world's greatest investor, is also an employee of his company, chairman. Right? These people are employees. They're self-employed. And self-employment always leads to success. given the right formula, given the right equation, given the right motivation. So, in order for you to start your own business and do something great, you have to learn sales. You have to learn about business. Some people get discouraged even before they start selling. They doubt even before they begin. They want to be rich, they want to be successful, but they do not want to learn the art of selling. They're too afraid to sell. Man, if you don't know how to sell, if you don't learn the art of selling, then quit your dream of being successful. Alright? Quit your dream of being successful, because you ain't gonna be one. You ain't gonna be successful if you don't learn the art of selling. All of the successful people in the world, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Mark Cuban, Donald Trump, the Ayalas of the Philippines, Henry C., all of these guys have one thing in common. All of them know and learned how to sell. Do not listen to those people who discourage you, because the truth is, those people are broke as well. Don't listen from the fortune teller, because I have to tell you, these fortune tellers who use cards to read other people's fortune, future, they're freaking broke. They can't even read their fortune, right? They don't even know the ingredient how to be successful. So why waste your time? Why waste your time listening to them? All right? Do not listen to these people, because they can't even help themselves. They don't have a dream, number one. And that's because of that, they discourage you to have your own dream. They don't have a dream. That's why what they do is they try to steal your dream away from you. There are a lot of noise in this world, a lot of people pretending that they know something, and you have to listen carefully if the thing that people tell you to do will actually motivate you to do something great. If it doesn't motivate, if it doesn't inspire you to do something great, you have to stay away from these people. You need to start your own business now, because the first rule of engagement for success, one of the first things that you have to do is to increase your cash inflow. You have to increase your cash inflow. I've read an article recently in one magazine that's I think it was a couple of days ago, and it was written by a stock market correspondent, and his article goes like this. To be successful, you need to invest your monthly savings into variable ventures in the stock market, and you should learn how to hold and when to sell all your investments. It sounds good, right? Sounds pleasing to the ear that you're going to invest 5,000 and that you'll get returns in a couple of months, make your money work for you. But I have to say that this article is a big rubbish. This article is just garbage, If your savings is just 10,000 pesos per month, that is still baby money. That's very small. You cannot invest if you barely have money, right? So you get the point? These guys in the stock market are ignorant about success, and they feed you with the wrong information. You get the wrong information. And if you listen to them, you'll be broke. Remember the first rule of engagement for success: increase the cash inflow. Increase the income that's coming into you. Increase the money that's coming into you. What's happening to a lot of people right now is the money coming out is greater compared to the money coming in. That's why they're broke. That's why they can't get out from their situation. So what you have to do is to make sure that the money that goes in is sufficient, is enough, is exceedingly over compared to the money that's coming out. That's the first rule of engagement you have to remember. And you need to do this first step in order for you to generate, to save resources, so that someday you can build your own company, start your own business, and make yourself successful. This is the first thing you have to do. You have to make sure that the resources keep on coming in. If you just have 10,000 in the bank, that's not enough. You have to increase that to about 1,000,000 pesos. If you have 1,000,000 pesos, then I can say that's safe enough for you to invest your money. But if you only have 10,000, that's still very, very small. 500,000, that's still small. You got to make it to 1,000,000. One lesson I want to tell you is this: you have to believe you can. All right, you have to believe you can, and you have to stop listening from a lot of negative people around you. Might be your friends, your mom, your dad. Who knows? If your mom tells you average is okay, if your dad tells you average is okay, if your wife tells you average is okay, if your girlfriend tells you average is okay, tell them they're wrong. Average is never okay. Look at the life they're living now, right? Look at the life that your mama and papa is living right now. If you want to live a life like that, then follow their footsteps, follow their advice. But if you want to do something great, you have to be with great people. I really believe that people can become successful if they believe that they can. It all starts with a belief. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxing icons of the millennium, perhaps, announced to the world that he will become the world's greatest even before the world knows him as a boxer. So even before the world saw him fight many strong opponents, he already announced that he will be great. And he became one. The reason why many people until now are poor, and the reason why a lot of businesses fail, is that they are surrounded with average people who have average goals. If you surround yourself with people who don't have dreams, who think average, if you surround yourself with people who can't even help themselves, then you are doomed for failure. You will never become successful. To be great, you need to surround yourself with great people. There was this one story that a friend of mine shared to me, and it was about 3 soldiers who were looking for food in a village. And the villagers were threatened, and they don't want to give food to the soldiers. So what they did was to keep all their chickens, vegetables, and everything they need to make food. Then the soldiers were really hungry, and they figured out that the villagers won't give them anything. But after about 4 hours of thinking, one soldier got a brilliant idea. He knocked into one of the villagers' house and asked if they can use his pot to create food out from stones. No, food out from stones, man. This is crazy. It was really a crazy idea, and the owner of the house was puzzled. And the news quickly spread in the village that the soldiers were making a magic food out from stones and water. The villagers poured in to see the magic on how the soldiers can do it. And one curious villager asked the soldier, "How would food from stones taste like?" he asked. Then the soldier answered, "It would taste better if it had carrots in it." So it said. So the villager got the carrots he kept and put some parts of it to the pot. Other villagers started asking the soldiers, and the soldiers keep on giving them the ingredients on how to make the food taste great. They added cabbage, potato, chicken, seasonings, and spices. And after about 2 hours of cooking, the food from the stone was done, and everyone wondered in amazement how it tasted so great considering it was made from stones. And this is exactly the point. To do something great, you have to be with great people. And this is our invitation to you. To join Sense, get a franchise, all right? Do something great, be successful, and begin now. That's our invitation to you. The franchise is very, very affordable. We were initially thinking of offering it at about 15,000 pesos, 150,000 pesos. But we decided to help that most people could not afford that. Most people doesn't have enough money to actually buy a franchise. So we decided to really lower down the cost In fact, we're almost giving away. All you need to do is to pay $1,199, and you get all the things you need for the franchise. That's very, very cheap. All right. So, as a lasting piece of advice, I want all of our listeners out there to remember this one. Stop being average. Stop it. Average will not make you great. All right. Average will not make you rich. Average will not make you successful. You have to strive to be great. You have to strive for greatness. Be with a team who will inspire you to do great things. Stop being negative. All right. Stop dreaming and start acting now. Join us in Sense. All right. Let's dream big, but let's act even bigger. We would love to really work with great people like you. If you find this audio training interesting, and you decided that it's time for you to go out from your current financial problem, if you decided it's time for you to be with great people who thinks about great things, then I think we are a perfect blend. So go ahead and shoot us an email, or you can contact us at 0908-607-8324 and 0943-405-1770. Once again, this is Phil, and hope to see you again next time.